The new Fantastic Four trailer has got me the most hyped for a Marvel movie in ages. Not only because it's the most visually pleasing this universe has been in quite some time, not only because the casting that had me worried now seems like a perfect fit, particularly with Johnny.
You're gonna be the best mom in the world.
And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth.
I'm even starting to come around on Pedro Pascal as Reed.
There's not enough time.
It's not only because of the retro-futuristic stylings, or seeing the Thing look and act like he was ripped straight out of Jack Kirby's imagination.
This car?
This trailer has me hyped because there is a clear, engrossing story. We're meeting this FF well into their superhero career, and they are beloved, seen as celebrities, perfect Avengers.
Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
And it looks like it's going to be really interesting to see the public's perception turn on its head as they are faced with an eldritch cosmic horror emerging from the depths of space to annihilate everything.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
I love the contrast of seeing children and talk show audiences eager to see the Four to scientists asking, bewildered, whether they can actually do something about it.
Are we safe?
I don't know.
I feel like the whole movie is going to be structured around the idea of the Fantastic Four having this golden age and seeing that come to an end when they're faced with their toughest ever challenge.
We will protect you.
It will also be about that all-important family dynamic and how it will be tested in relatable ways and then in big, grandiose superhero ways. But paradoxically, everything good about this trailer and the upcoming movie relates to what is drawing me away. I can't help but feel like we've seen a lot of this before, and of course we did, all the way back in 2007 with Rise of the Silver Surfer. That foreboding sense of dread, the existential terror of Galactus, the seemingly omnipotent threat of the World Eater's Herald, that was all there and feels like well-trodden ground. We're now on our third reboot of the Fantastic Four in 4 movies, and so far the FF have only ever fought Doctor Doom or Galactus. It calls to mind how whenever Superman is rebooted, it feels like he can only ever face a villain from his first 2 movies as well, Lex Luthor or Zod. The 3 Spider-Man reboots, whether you love or hate certain versions or films, tackled this perfectly. We always got a new villain, never seen before in the continuity, and they committed to that. After the Raimi films, they went to Lizard and Electro. After Webs, we got Vulture and Mysterio. Sure, the Goblins kept coming back, but No Way Home was the first time we didn't get any new villains from his rogues gallery, and that made sense for the story. I know the Fantastic Four and Superman don't have quite the same extensive iconic list of rogues as old Webhead, but it would have been nice if both of their July offerings offered a brand spanking new villain.
Shut up!
But maybe it's a minor gripe, because of course, we never got Galactus comic accurate like we're going to now. Ralph Ineson is going to be rendered in the full comic getup, and we got a look at his first steps in the trailers. Even though it will be a retread in terms of the overarching end-of-the-world plot, Galactus will feel like something we've never experienced before, and that is going to be surreal and awesome. But then, on the other hand, the Silver Surfer has to arrive on Earth first, and this new Silver Surfer has huge shoes to fill. I don't care that we're getting a female surfer, she is Shala Ball and not Norrin Rad after all, I just care that it's going to be nigh impossible to top what we had.
Oh, that is cool.
The Doug Jones Lawrence Fishburne Surfer had the voice, the look, the aura. That was a perfect adaptation of Silver Surfer. How does the CGI on this new one, almost 20 years later, look worse? Granted, it might look better in the movie, but this is not the only derivative of what we've had that looks straight up worse. But then, it could all be worth it if certain rumours are to be believed. This could all turn out to be baloney, and I think the rumours are well publicised across the net, but either way, if it turns out to be true, spoiler warning. The rumours are twofold, that this Galactus is a multiversal vision of the character, and that he will succeed in eating the Earth. This could make the movie rock for several reasons. It would make so much sense that Galactus of all characters is multiversal. Maybe he's like America Chavez, where only one version of him exists across the multiverse. He is a world eater. It makes sense that he would not be satiated by just one Earth, but an infinite amount of them. It would make him seem even more unstoppable. It would also help to make the multiverse saga feel relevant in a way akin to the Infinity Saga when it would introduce us to different stones. I don't think the 2000s FF need to pop up here, but just knowing that this would be the same World Eater they fought against would be enough of a link to make it feel like Loki, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, and Deadpool and Wolverine were all part of this burgeoning chain to Doomsday. And then if this is the same Galactus, even if it isn't, and this is indeed a variant, we've seen the story where Galactus loses on the big screen. What if he wins? What if the Fantastic Four go from perfect celeb heroes to failing on such a scale that they lose their world and everyone in it? It would mean delivering on that gripping premise from the new trailer. It would mean seeing heroes lose in a way that would not be undone like in Endgame. It would be something we've never really seen from the FF on film, or really any other superhero movie. That could be really exciting, and would be such an interesting story point to hang the future sequels on. The greatest failure of their career, a complete reversal to the celebrity worship they had in the early days. The fact that this team exists on another Earth separate to the MCU is really freeing and interesting, and sure, maybe everything will just fold in from Secret Wars and beyond with a soft reboot, but I think it would be seriously ballsy if the reason the Fantastic Four come to the MCU is because they are marooned, because their world was totaled by a threat they couldn't defeat. It would be tremendous thrust for their MCU journey, and might even explain the whole RDJ Doom thing. Perhaps their Doom travelled over as well in the face of Armageddon, and merely took the face of Stark, explaining it a little more in-universe with his magic, utilising the dreamwalking necromancy a la Multiverse of Madness, rather than it simply being Doom with RDJ's face. By Secret Wars, that could be the time to meet the Fantastic Three, the original three heroes, bound by their grief over Johnny Storm after they find out what happens to him from the X-Men's Wolverine during the Battleworld event. Multiverse crossovers can only work if there's something good to be mined in the characters. It can't just be for an audience cheer. And having the new FF help the old FF process that grief with the failure of losing their own worlds, well, that could be terrific.
Say that again?
Thunderbolts is out this week, so if you want my full breakdown, check back very soon to get my full in-depth review, and then for further thoughts on that, as well as each arc of Andor and Doctor Who, as well as Daredevil Born Again, head on over to the Full Fat Podcast. The link is in the pinned comment below. If you like my Marvel videos, then please subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments, and please leave a like, because all that good stuff helps me out tremendously and keeps Full Fat trucking along. A huge thank you to Dr. Chike and Peter Vaughan for being my Full Fat patrons. Your contribution to keeping the channel running is immeasurable. If you'd like to join the Patreon for exclusive goodies, early releases of main videos, the podcast, video scripts, and a thank you in the credits, then please head on over to patreon.com/fullfatvideos to choose one of the paid tiers.